I believe. So what is the score now, though, that Bly won?
It is 2-1
2-1
currently for
Bly. That's
Bly.
right. Right. So Bly looking in a pretty nice spot here. The aggressor being pretty consistently here, the aggressor. And moving forward, just really nice how that was looking pretty rough for Bly, but he was able to pull it back with that queen control and taking the right engagements, the right time with those.
Great decision making from both of them, and all through the series in games 1, 2, and 3, I like that they've been doing the same thing and kind of feeling it out, saying, okay, you know what, I know my build can work, you just kind of got in here, you got in this chink of my armor and able to utilize that and capitalize off it. So I like that it's both been back and forth, them trying to figure it out. But 3 games in a row, it's been the same builds from both of them. Game 4, I'm wondering if they're going to deviate or not. Lilac Crest is one of the earlier maps, or not earlier, but from last season, and there's a little bit more know-how about how this map actually plays out.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think we'll see the same thing, and that's not to make it sort of... it's just sort of like the setup of the game. Like, if you go to a race and it's a drag race, both cars set up and there's a line and they go to the line. It's 3, 2, 1, go. And it happens every time, and that's great. And this, with the ZVZ, they both decide, okay, I'm the aggressor and you're not, and this is how we're going to play it out. And the action, the exciting thing to be focused on here is that unit control, because it can very, very easily swing either way at any point in time. But without any further ado, let's introduce our players on Lilac Crest. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner of my dyslexic screen, we have the blue Zerg Namshar.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, the red Zerg player from Team Acer, currently up 2-1. It is Bly. And I've watched Bly evolve all the way through Heart of the Swarm, and I'm excited to see him Legacy of the Void, but it's been so cool to just watch him and say, week after week casting, a month after month, like, this is what he's trying out now, and he's trying out this, and Bly's going for a hatch first, completely switching it up. Wow, is Namshar doing a 14-14? No, Namshar is just doing a pool gas into hatch, so both Namshar doing the same thing, still playing his safe build, while Bly's like, you've done this 3 games in a row. Let's be a little greedy.
This is a perfect little teaching moment here, right? So in StarCraft, you have safe openers, you have greedy openers, and you have aggressive openers. And so far, Bly has been over and over again showing an aggressive opener. And the best way to deal with an aggressive opener is a safe opener. And that's what we've been seeing. So Bly is going to sort of, just expecting that his opponent is a little scared of him, especially because he's ahead in the series, is going to go ahead and go with a little bit of a greedy opener, which is going to take advantage of the fact that Namshar has been playing a little bit safe to deal with the aggression of Bly. So really nice little mind game. It's not a huge advantage, but it is an advantage for Bly moving into this game.
You also got to think about that Bly is only 1 game away from victory. If he wins this, he can take it. So Namshar is going to be all the more careful about any cheeses or all-ins that's going to hit him.
Absolutely. All the pressure right now is on Namshar, and that's why
open window.
You can make this kind of a play very comfortably, and especially on Lilac Crest as well. It's a 4-player map, less likely you're going to get scouted sooner. But Namshar's lucky. He manages to scout in the correct location first, going to send in his 2 scouting links, as always, and realize, oh no, my opponent opened hatch first. This is not so great for me.
As I was mentioning in one of the earlier games, that maybe the only way to realistically see 14-14 is actually the lack of lings, but you also have the situation where they went hatch first or 3 hatch before pool, so it's very hard to scout that now because of that. Bly's actually going to have a ling lead in these kind of ling v ling battles, but for now, Namshar, he's going to try to punish this. He does have a Baneling Nest that just finished, and I don't know if he can punish this, but we'll see how good the micro is. For now, Bly doesn't even have a Baneling Nest, though. He just needs to hold on to his Roachwarren and make sure his queens are in phenomenal positions, and then I think he just pushes off.
I love that. Oh, man. Throws down the Roachwarren, puts these queens here. It's going to minimize a lot of surface area and make the path for the lings to run to the main much longer. Blocking over here with the lings and even be a little aggressive with these queens moving out, realizing that the numbers are in a decent position. He has managed to hold long enough to be able to keep up, but these Banelings are going to tell the whole story. They're focusing down from the queens. Excellently done. But do you lose the queens in the process? So far, no. One of those queens is dangerously low. However, we have a fight out in the middle of the map, and it's looking like Bly is pushing Namshar back.
Namshar does have banelings though, so he can fall back onto that, but it's kind of the same situation for Bly. He's just got some queens which will act as those banelings in the Ling v Ling battles, but we'll see if those banelings will be enough. Bly being very careful, spots the banelings, pulls back, but now there's 7 roaches on the way, and
Oh,
I think
wow.
those are just going to completely nullify the banelings and lings as long as they go with the cover of these lings to kind of negate the surface area of those big surrounds that sometimes happens in Ling v roaches.
Yep. Blythe finishing up a drone. We're going to see if he squeezes more out. And an evolution chamber coming down from Namshar. So Namshar getting in it for the long haul. We've got a lot of
the
banelings. Ooh,
baneling.
cancels all those banelings from that swift move out. Really excellently done. Going to use 3 lings to try to take out these 2 banes. Pretty decent trades if he can manage to get them. And engaging in the meantime all over the place. The action is insane. So hard to keep up with as a player. Microing on all those fronts at once.
I'd love to see Bly get layer just to be able to get this roach speed so the roaches will be able to fight with these lings, because for now it's going to be an incredibly fast-paced Ling v Ling battle. Actually, and we see in the top left, maybe Namshar looking to take a 3rd base. He's just checking his 3rd base position, making sure nothing's there, and a big flood of lings are actually going to catch Namshar out of position in the middle of the map. For now, though, like I was saying, I want to see roach speed happen. It's actually going to be Ravagers now instead of roach speed.
That is
Lair,
really
period.
interesting, especially because Speedlings tend to do very well against Ravagers. We do have a Baneliness coming down as well, so maybe some Baneling Ravager option. Ooh, he's going to start clearing out Overlords. I love this move.
Nice.
It takes exactly 4 Ravagers to clear 1 Overlord at a time, so he's going to really cut down the vision of his opponent. And as a result, Namshar is not going to know when his opponent's expanding, when he should attack, and most importantly, when it's safe to drone.
That is a very scary position to be in ZVZ, because the majority of your decisions in ZVZ, generally you kind of know where you want to go, but it's when do I actually start going in that direction? And for now, Bly is going to have complete control of that huge Ling v Lings, 35 Lings versus 30. Bly not only has the lead in that, but he's got the roach, he's got the... Oh,
another Overlord.
beautiful. I was saying that was Bly not only has the roach, he's got the Ravagers, and maybe not even killing these Ravagers. Sorry, maybe not even killing the Overlords. Nice catch right there, but he can go for the Spines, which is how Namshar held on in a couple of the previous games, so he does have some sieging potential.
Oh man, this is like, he's Dumbledore and he's on the street and he's got that clicker that steals all the lights for Namshar, man. Namshar is like, oh my god, I'm going blind, I can't see anything, I don't know what my opponent's doing. He's trying to stay on the map as much as possible, but it's becoming less and less possible for him to do that. Oh, and another Overlord goes down.
Nothing can be
Even going to do a little bit of supply block as well, so, oh my god, and no Overlord's on the way. It's going to be a full 18-second supply block here, and even when that finishes, he's already 5 in the red, so really going to cut his production back. These Banelings coming in, this is really important. Everything is coming down to these two Banelings. Oh, Banelings get a little bit aggressive. Oh my god, we've got tons and tons of Banelings from Bly behind this. He has nowhere near reached his limit of Banelings. He's just going to run through and Baneling the crap out of all these Lings as much as possible. The control, really important now. A lot of these Lings, being able to avoid most of the Banelings. A lot of these Lings also very low. Only 1 Baneling hit away. Keep in mind, we do have +1 carapace. That's a really, really important upgrade here that's helping Namshar take this fight.
Namshar has so many lings, and by the way, we're seeing nothing but finally Bly makes 12 more roaches, but Bly just barely comes out ahead right there. And for a second, Namshar thought he was in the lead. He thought he caught so many lings, but there was a huge influx of those Banes. Back at home, Bly, as I said, is 15 more roaches on the way. They could have been a little bit quicker. He was kind of meandering and getting these roaches into a good position, but 7 workers dead. What is it? 35 to Bly to the 23 drones of Namshar.
Namshar there, he had the secret weapon. He had +1. What that means is when you have +1 armor against your opponent's Banelings, Zerglings won't die to a single Baneling. They'll die to 2 instead. So that's why you saw all of those Zerglings on really, really low health, but not dead. And that really was this critical and important moment for Namshar to be able to defend that base.
Bly posturing for another attack into Namshar's main, and by the way, no one has gone Larry out on either side. Not reminiscent of any of the previous games at all. Completely switching up for Laralac Crest. +1 melee is coming out for Namshar. He's trying to get himself in a position where he can do something, but it's just not going to be enough. Bly's a chokehold. Not only that, he's taking a 3rd base, and it looks like this may be the final battle.
These Banelings are really important, and he's managed to... Oh my god! Tons of those Banelings hitting off on the Lings. In the meantime, Namshar's Banelings have not done any damage at all. They've been focused down by roaches. Nice explosions there, but in the end, it's not all that great.
Bly's 1 game away from victory, and this may be it. Moving on to the finals, there's the GG. Bly 3-1 moves on to the finals and has a chance at $100 first place. Next up, we have PiLiPiLi, a Protoss versus PandaBearMe, a Zerg. Yes, yes, PandaBearMe Zerg. We'll have a PVZ. Man, I was really hoping it was going to be epic in those, just so we could have a PVT and something a little bit different than the quarterfinals. There was a lot of PVZ action, but PiLiPiLi versus PandaBearMe is going to be coming up next, and that is going to be played live. That's another best of 5 series, and then we're going to have a best of 7 finals between Bly and the winner of that. Wow. Any thoughts on those last 4 games? That was some intense ZBZ action.
Yeah, that was awesome. I really think Bly just showing some superior decision making, really nice mind game to take the last game to stay ahead, and just it's this very sort of when you get into mirror matchups, most mirror matchups, but especially ZBZ, you get into this very essential what is StarCraft moments where you have that trinity of openings that we talked about earlier, and you have that sort of defender's advantage and understanding how that works. And Bly being one of the most seasoned veterans in the game, just absolute flawless decision making. Taking that series.
He's been playing for so long. I talked about a little bit just watching him evolve through Heart of the Swarm is when I came into StarCraft 2. So watching him through that and casting him, it's been so cool seeing him do it. I've seen him on every map doing crazy stuff. Same thing a little bit for Namshar. Seen him a lot recently. He's been kind of playing in more and more tournaments. At least I've seen him and casted him. Very well played from Namshar, though. In the end, he gets away with a nice $25 in his pocket for his efforts. Up next, as I said, will be PiLiPiLi versus PandaBearMe. And I don't know, do we have an ad break for this? I'm not sure where the players are. Okay, guys,
Yeah,
we're gonna go
definitely for sure.
we're gonna go to. I didn't know. Sometimes I'm a mule here. Just Hawkeye says, you know what? You're gonna cast another couple games. Go for it. And I'm like, okay, Hawkeye. Looks like I'm casting more games without water, but
Oh yeah, man, it's that classic chain to the death scenario of the caster. It's like, are you getting paid? No. Are you gonna cast for 8 hours? Yes. Are you upset about it? Absolutely not. We're gonna make it happen. But we are gonna go to a short break. Of course, please turn your ad block off and watch a little bit of ads, or leave the ads up and walk away. We don't really care. But just please go ahead and support as much as you possibly can, because your support is what allows these things to keep happening. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back real soon.